शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थपितां येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं स्वाद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनीश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवतसेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकी नंदनाय च
देवकी नन्दनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानन्द
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृन्द।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
राम हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. With the mercy of most merciful Srila Prabhupada, Sri Gaurari, Sri Gandhari Vikagirdhari, and Param Karuna Nityanand Mahajan, we are starting the study of the Bhakti Vaibhav, third canto of Srimad Bhagwatam. Already you have finished 8 chapters. We will start from chapter 9. Third canto of Srimad Bhagwatam has 33 chapters. And the subject matter of Bhagavad, which is mostly discussed in third canto, is Visarga. Sarga. Creation by Lord Vishnu. Sarga is described, and there are 2 types of Sarga. Dev Asura Evacha. Devai Umo Shrage Loko Dev Asura Evacha. Bhagwat Gita 16 chapter says there are 2 types of creation. Is this verse familiar with you? Diva imau sarge loke kshar chakshar evacha. Sorry, not kshara. Deva imo sarge loke dev asur evacha. There are two types of creation, dev and asur, right? So in third canto, these two types of creation are described. The demonic creation is Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipu, and the divine creation is Manu and Shatrupa. So in third canto, there are two types of creation. Two sarga. There are two incarnation in third canto. One is action-oriented incarnation called Varade. He simply brought the earth for creation. Second is Gyan or a knowledge imparting incarnation, Kapil Dev. There's a meeting of the two great devotees in the beginning of the third canto, Uddhav and Vidura. And they started discussing Krishna Katha spontaneously. So, the first section discuss about mostly creation of Brahma by Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. That is the chapter 8. So, now in chapter 9, Brahma's prayers from verse number 1 to 25, Brahma's prayers for creative impetus. He wants to create the universe as he created before. It means he is the same Brahma. One Brahma's life is 100 years, which is divided into two prarabdha, 50 years each. So now Brahma has completed his 50 years. First prarabdha is over, and the second 51 year, first day of Brahma is in process, and it is the afternoon of Brahma's first day, because 7th Manu's time is going on. What is called Manu's first day? Manu's day is called Kalpa. So in each Kalpa there are 14 Manvantars. So the 7th Manvantar is going on. So every time when Brahma sleep, he forget everything. So when again he appears on the lotus, he prays for creation. So connection with the previous verses, after seeing the wonderful form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Brahma offers prayers. So in the 8th chapter, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Now these Brahma's prayers, the first 5 prayers, 1 to 5, they describe the Lord's supreme form. So the form which Brahma is seeing with his own eyes, so he is praising that form, offering prayers and describing the form which he is seeing. So this first section of this chapter. So let us start the first prayer of the Brahma. Brahma Vacha. Gyato asmi te adya suchiram. Gyata means known. Adya means today. Suchiram means after a long time. It took me a long time to know you. So there is one question which you have to write up on your own. How can one see the Supreme Lord? What are the requirements or qualifications or practices by which one can see the Lord? Because that's what Brahma will speak in this section. And Srila Prabhupada's purport will focus on that. So chiram. Chir means time. So after a long time. Today I have seen you after a long time. So when Brahma has seen Lord after a long time and we are chanting for 10 years and we still think we can see Lord, it is not really practical, right? So, nano dehe bhajan, those who have bodies, it's not possible for them. Na gyayate bhagavato gati hi avadyam. Avadyam means offense. Avadyam, you see the word to word meaning for avadya? Great offense. Like avajananti. So because why people have a body, they think Lord has a body like us, so they do the offense to the Lord. Therefore it's not possible to see. Nanyatvasti Bhagavan api tanna shuddham. Nobody except you, Supreme Lord, is completely pure. Shuddham, absolute. And Srila Prabhupada, for word to word, Shuddham, what he writes? Absolute. Absolute. Shuddham means absolute, Prabhupada writes. Maya guna vyakti karad yad uru vibhasi. Vibhasi means you. Generally, vibhasi means one who is shining. And he is not affected by the qualities of the material energy. So now we are just reading the translation of this verse. Lord Brahma said, my Lord, oh my Lord, today after many, many years of penance, there's no word penance in the verse, but it is implied because Brahma did penance. For how much time? 100 celestial years. 100 celestial years. And what we mean by celestial year, by the way? Devata's years. Okay, Devata's years. So, what is the time frame of the Devata's years? So 6 months of the human calculation is day and 6 months is night. Sorry?
1 year is equal to 1 day.
1 year is equal to 1 day.
For us, 1 year is equal to 1 day.
Yeah, Uttarayan Dakshayan is more like, according to the astrology, the 2 part of the year, 6 months. So, many years of penance. What type of penance Brahma is doing, by the way? He was chanting 18 syllables Gopal mantra given by Saraswati. He was chanting 18 syllables Gopal mantra. So this chanting is penance. Those who are Brahman initiated, they know the 18 syllables Gopal mantra. We chant this mantra. The Gopal mantra, 18 syllables. So it's not austerity like Hiranyakashipu Brahma is studying on one leg, no. He was doing a Vaishnava austerity, which is better is chanting. A meditative chanting. Because earlier in the second canto, Narad asked, you are doing meditation on whom? It appears you are a creator, but on whom you are meditating? It means Brahma is doing chanting with meditation. You can see this word again and again. Bhakti yoge samahita manasa. Bhakti yoge samahita manasa. Vyasadeva did like that. You see everywhere Bhakti yoge samahita manaha. They exalt their mind by Bhakti yoga. So, I have come to know about you. Oh, How unfortunate the embodied living entities are. Dev Ajan. That they are unable to know your personality. Why? My Lord, you are the only knowable object because there is nothing supreme beyond you. If there is anything supposedly superior to you, it is not the absolute. This is Chaturshloki Bhagwatam. Second verse, anything which is separate than Supreme Lord is Maya. Right? It means Brahma already remember this Chaturshloki Bhagwatam when he is speaking like that. So you can see the level of Brahma's prayers. You know. In second canto he has some prayers. In third canto he is doing prayers. And ultimate, and then he will prayer in 10th canto, 14th chapter to the Krishna. Then his prayer is Brahma Sanhita. So there is a gradual realization of Brahma in all these prayers, higher and higher and higher. It means we have to progress in devotional service step by step. So Brahma is a creator and we follow his parampara and he is the creator for all. So it is gradual progression. You exist as the supreme by exhibiting the creative energy of the matter. Because the creation is by Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes, Brahma said, today I have understood you. Gyato Asmi. After meditating for a long time, Suchire. Persons with material bodies are worthless since they do not know the truth about the Lord. There is nothing to compare with you, O Lord. Everything else is impure. Ashodham. But appears great because it is transformation of the guna of your Maya Shakti. There's a difference between the translation of the two. Guna Vyakti Karta, which means transformation. Vyakti Karta means transformation. And but appears great. Oh Lord, everything else is impure, but appears great because it is transformation of gunas of your Maya Shakti. And Srila Prabhupada said, you exist as the supreme by exhibiting creative energy of the matter. Actually, the same thing, but the language is how you are supreme, because your Maya is transferring the whole, this world which is created of Maya, and you are the creator of this, so therefore you are supreme. And you are beyond the Maya. Now, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada's purport is start from De Bhajan. The word De Bhajan, the embodied souls. So he says, highest speak of ignorance of the living entity who is conditioned by material bodies is that they are unaware of the supreme cause of cosmic manifestation. So Srila Prabhupada's purport on De Bhajan and Guna Vyaktikar. What Prabhupada wants to say actually is this, what to speak of knowing God, we don't know even the creation of God. So Srila Prabhupada has used the word Guna Bhajan for purport. So De Bhajan for purport first. And the creation, because of that God is great. Because of his creation is great, right? So Prabhupada writes, different people have different theories regarding the supreme cause for creation. But none of them are genuine. Why? Then who is genuine? Brahma is genuine because he has seen the God. And he has seen how he created. Others only put the theories and they have not seen the creation. So they are not genuine. The only supreme cause is Vishnu. And the intervening impediment is the illusory energy of the Lord. It means for us to know the cause Vishnu, the Maya is curtain. Then which words will come in your mind?
Maya Javani Kachi. Maya Javani Kachi.
This Maya Javani Ka Chinna from the Kunti Maharani's prayers from Bhagwat Gita. Naam Prakashati Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavarta. So when Srila Prabhupada is writing something, certain verses is just blanking in his mind and he's putting the words. Why people are not able to see the God? Because of curtain of Maya. Because Maya is there. Because of Maya, God is great. Because He created the Maya. Maya is His creation. It's like sun create the clouds and clouds cover the sun. It's like that. Right? The clouds are created by sun. But sun is covered by clouds. So Maya is created by God and God is covered by Maya. And because our body is also created by Maya, material energy. And as long as we are embodied, it's not possible to go beyond concept of Maya usually. Is it because this body is working under the three modes of material nature? It's like a machine. Yantra Rudani Maya. So, the Lord has employed His wonderful material energy in manifesting many, many wonderful destruction in the material world. And the conditioned souls, illusioned by same energy, are unable to know the supreme cause. What are the destruction Maya has created in this material world that we don't know God? Huh?
So many distractions.
Yeah, what are the wonderful destructions are created by material energy that we cannot really know God? What are these?
Opposite sex.
First is this is Kapil Dev told his mother that this form of woman in this world is created by me and this is the greatest illusion for everybody. Yes. Kapil Dev told to Devhuti this. What else?
This mobile.
Oh, modern mobile. Good. Wonderful distraction created by Maya. Well, there's one story like that. Once somebody asked God, well, how can we see you? He said, by this evening, 5 o'clock, I am sitting in a Whitefield temple. You come and meet me. So everybody was enthusiastic to meet. But on the road, first there was a dancing show of the actresses, very well-known actresses of the country. It is free for all. And the next there was a good free restaurant, eat whatever you want, and it has all the wonderful preparations. And then further you go. I mean, you start, if there's a meeting by 5 o'clock, what time you start? At least 4:30, 4 o'clock. Now you see some nice, here is some great actress performing. You will stop at least and watch. Yeah, there's still half an hour, right? Then you say, this is free food. You start there, and then now 5 minutes are left to reach, and you can reach, but there is a lion standing there on the gate. So you don't know how to go, because if you come early, you can find out some other way. There is some other way to go, but you will never reach to the God. So nobody reached to the God. God said, "You come and meet me," but the distraction was so much on the way. They started to see God, but they stopped on the way. Same thing for us devotees also. We actually join the Krishna conscious movement for developing love of God. But on the way we are distracted. And the journey of the Hanuman to the Lanka, has the 4 restrictions which are for the devotees. First is Minak Parvat, presenting nice fruits and place for rest, which means enjoyment. And Hanuman conquered that by detachment. He never accepted. He said, no, in service of Ram, there's no Vishram. The next was this Surasa, the mother of the snakes, which eat the children. And she said, you come in my mouth, and competition is started. You big, I big. This is ego. I am 10 years in the temple. You came yesterday. What do you know? And no, I know everything. So like Sursa, everybody goes up and up. And how the Hanuman conquered that? By becoming small, humbleness. So by becoming humble, we can conquer this ego. Then came the Singaki, the shadow, catching shadow. It means enviousness, finding fault in others. This is one of the greatest obstruction created by Maya, enviousness of the other fellow beings. And Hanuman conquered this by killing Singaka, killing completely. So the ego you can bring down by humbleness, but Isha or the enviousness you have to eradicate completely. And then came the Lankani. Said, you thief. Hanuman said, who is thief? Ravana or me? It means when you become devotee, so many of your old friends and family, they say you, hey, you are spoiled. You are on wrong path. Huh? They will say like that. And you have to be little strong like Hanuman and give them little, push. Then you can reach really to the Sita, which gives the bhakti. So these are the obstacles. So Prabhupada says, so many obstacles are.
What is the anartha which Lankini represents? Obstacle?
Sorry?
Lankini represents...
Oh, Lankani is false propaganda.
False propaganda.
False propaganda. And usually these destruction are in 3 category of 3. It's called Zar, Zan, Zameen. Zar means wealth, Zan means woman, and Zameen means land. Everybody is fighting in this world for these 3 things. And for the devotees, these 3 words are Kamani, Kanchan, and Kirti. Kamani means beautiful opposite sex. Kanchan means wealth, and Kirti. Usually devotee give up Kamini, no problem. Even they give up Kanchan, but in Kirti they are bound by Kirti. I need more, respect, more disciples, and all these things. This is Kirti. This is also big obstacle. So this is what Srila Prabhupada is writing. Why people don't know Lord? Why people don't know Lord? Right? Now further Srila Prabhupada writes, the most stalwart scientists and philosophers therefore cannot be accepted as wonderful. They only appear wonderful because they are instrument in the hands of illusory energy of the Lord. And when Srila Prabhupada is writing this, which verse is in his mind? Maya Parth Jnana. You see, Maya Parth Jnana. Their intelligence is stolen by Maya. So every line Prabhupada is writing, there is something. And this on one purport we are going thoroughly, just to know how to study Srila Prabhupada's purport. If you read this, then you will not apply your mind. What are the restrictions? How can we overcome those restrictions? Because the goal is to really realize God. So, under illusion, the great mass of people deny the existence of Supreme Lord and accept the foolish product of the illusory energy as supreme they consider Maya supreme than the God. Because they are illusioned by Maya. What are the function of Maya, by the way? What function of illusory energy? Avaranatmik and Vikshep. Covering and distracting, befooling. Befooling, actually. Some good example you have learned for this. You know this one good example for preaching? Cinema hall example, have you ever heard? No? When we go to cinema hall, you go always with your dear friend or, and when the cinema hall is full, what did they do? Turn lights off. Cover, avarana. You don't see who came with you. Right? Then on the screen they have a film for 3 hours and you are completely absorbed in that. And you identify with the hero and you cry sometime. Oh, he's killed. Is he killed? No, he's earning money. And you are spending money and crying, right? That is Vikshep. And after 3 years, when there's nothing there, you can see who was with you. He can only take you on motorcycle back to home, not the film. So, Krishna is within our heart as a super soul. Maya has covered him. And in this material world, for 70 years, big film is going on. He's my friend, he's my wife, this is my house, this is my car. This is going on, this whole film is going on. And we are too much identifying with this film. And by the time death comes, the screen closed, only we can see, oh, the Supreme Lord was with me, nothing else. This is the function of Maya. Right? So for Maya works like that. Now Srila Prabhupada writes, one can know the supreme cause, means Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, by causeless mercy of Lord. So you write how one can know God. Number 1, causeless mercy of Lord. And you go to the opposite side. Why people don't know God? Because they are illusioned by Maya. Which is bestowed upon the Lord's pure devotee, like Brahma and those in his disciplic succession. So who is recipient of mercy? Pure devotee. An example is Brahma and his disciples. So what Prabhupada is writing actually, the mercy is descending through disciplic succession. Mercy is descending through disciplic succession. And what this process is called? Parampara is called Avaroha Pantha. It's coming from up. So mercy. So only we can know God by following the Parampara system and waiting for the mercy of the Supreme Lord. By acts of the penance, only was Lord Brahma able to see Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and by realization only could he understand the Lord as he is. So this is the next line you write, how one can know God. By penance only. By penance only. And then he can realize. So penance leads to realization, and penance for us is chanting holy name. Because Brahma also chanted. So only by penance we can know Lord, right? So it means this chanting is a big penance for the modern men. It was 64 rounds that Bhakti Siddhanta says one who is not chanting 64 is not a human being. But Prabhupada says somehow I know these people cannot sit for 8 hours to chant, so he gave us 16 rounds minimum. So So it's a big penance. It means 8 hours a day you have to chant. It's a big deal, and this was actually, at least this is what yesterday I told you. You have 8 hours for your body. 8 hours for body means you sleep, take rest, take bath, eat. 8 hours for working to maintain the body, and 8 hours for soul, and then chanting. So, practically speaking, this is penance. Brahma was extremely satisfied upon observing the magnificent beauty and opulence of the Lord, and he admitted that nothing can be comparable to him. Only by penance can one appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord. Again, Prabhupada, right? Only by penance one can appreciate the beauty and opulence of the God. How can you do this?
Realization.
In your deity, can you see the beauty of the deity? Have you ever appreciated the beauty of the deity? Is he attracting you? And the opulence of your Lord in the temple always. Big festivals are going on, hundreds of devotees are getting, feast and all this big opulence. We have to appreciate at our level, not at Brahma's level. The beauty of the deities is that we should really see the deities with thorough meditation. That at least when we close eyes, they are printed in our heart. And we see the opulence of the Lord that, it's not for the big rich man cannot feed 100, 200 people every day. But the temples are opulently feeding. You can see Tirupati, you go, millions of people go to Madhvacharya's much in Udupi. Everybody gets prasad. This is big opulence of the Lord, isn't it? And how beautiful is Lord. So the deity is beautiful. We have to appreciate it. Only by penance. Only by penance we can appreciate the beauty and opulence of the Lord. And when one is acquainted with that beauty and opulence, he is no longer is attracted by any other. What is any other means? Maya. Then which example is coming in your mind? Some of Ramanuja Acharya and which Das? Dhanurdas. And then when he saw the beauty of Ranganath, then he was not. So this is what if you have to give class on this verse, then you have to dig all these things in this. If you have seen the beauty and opulence of Lord, then nothing will attract you. This is confirmed in Bhagwat Gita, which was Prabhupada quoted. Rasovan, param drishtva nivartate. Rasovardham rasoapyasya param drishtva nivartate. Foolish human beings who do not endeavor to investigate the supreme beauty and opulence of the Lord are here condemned by Brahma. What actually would translate this? Foolish people who are not coming in the temple and seeing the beauty of the Lord and opulence of the Lord. That is what it means. Right? Particularly in South India, all the temples are in acres. This is this Dwapar Yuga's deity worship standard. The temple is the heart of the city. Like a Ranganath temple is the 7 walls, every city is there and the Lord is there. It's like a Vaikuntha. So one who is not going to see the Lord and see his opulence is foolish, number one. What about us? Are we seeing everyday Lord? Prabhupada was really sarcastic about Christians, or they are going on Sunday only. But now we are become only Sunday people. Now we are actually become victim of this. Not coming every day to see the deities. Right? The difference is that at that time all the devotees were living in the temple. Now we have big congregation. But this is the thing, we should at least, now I can tell you one advice. Every devotee should have his presiding deity, personal. Say I give example for me, Krishna Balaram, Radheshyam and Gaur Nitaya is my presiding deity of Vrindavan. Wherever in the world I may be, first in the morning I have to sit and meditate on my deities and pray to them with the same with their pranam mantra, and then start my day. Wherever you are, everybody must have his own presiding deities. Maybe his personal home deities, maybe his personal temple deities, but everyone should have this. This is how we appreciate the opulence and beauty of the Lord. So every day we must meditate, wherever we are. Maybe in the temple, may not in the temple. So Rupa Goswami says you can be in Vrindavan, not physically. Wherever you are, you can be in Vrindavan. So similarly, we can be in Vrindavan and see the beauty of Krishna in Vrindavan, wherever we are. Right? Now, it is imperative that every human being try for such knowledge, which means here Bhagwat Gita. And if anyone does not do so, his life is spoiled. Anything that is beautiful and opulent in the material sense is enjoyed by those living entities who are like crows. Material beauty means Maya. They are crows. Crows always engage in picking at rejected garbage. Prahlad Maharaj's prayer, chewing the chewed. That's what it means. Whereas the white ducks do not mix with the crows. Rather, they take pleasure in transparent lakes with lotus flowers surrounded by beautiful orchids. Both crows and ducks undoubtedly birds by birth, but they are not of the same feather. What is the message in this paragraph? We should associate with devotees, not with the materialistic people who are not interested in appreciating the beauty and opulence of the Lord and not interested in acquiring the knowledge of the Lord. This is what the purpose is. They are like crows, and they are just only interested in material enjoyment. So we should not associate with them. So this is the Srila Prabhupada's purport. Chakravarti Pada also had a quite lengthy purport. Let us see. This verse shows that after attaining mercy, one can meet the Lord and know the Lord. So your answer is, after mercy of the Lord, one can attain, and after attaining mercy, one can meet the Lord and know the Lord. Meeting Lord and knowing Lord is different. You know, so many people are coming to temple, they see the Lord, but they don't know the Lord. Therefore, Prabhupada says our temples are the places where people should be educated in Krishna's beauty and opulence and Krishna's teachings. This is the difference. Meeting and knowing is a difference. Today, you are known by me, Brahma says. After meditating on you for a long time, I was thinking that I was meditating on the form I had understood through previous meditation, because I had never meditated on such a beautiful form before. My pretense of knowledge was useless. I expected to see Lord in the form upon which I meditated. That was futile, since a particle of your beauty cannot be compared to the beauty of the huge emerald, a blue lotus, or a fresh cloud. It's a metaphoric things. Nothing of this material world can compare to the beauty of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada has used these words as the beauty and opulence of the Lord. But even meditating on the form I knew, you become visible in this beautiful form. The greatest of your mercy cannot be expressed in words. One who personally experiences your sweetness laments for others. This is most important. Throughout these passages you will come across those who have a mercy for other people and with compassion preach. They are very dear to Lord and they are the recipient of mercy. So this is important. I lament for others because they are not able to see you. Those who have bodies are full of fault, avidyam. Offense is fault. They do not know the true nature, gati, of the Supreme. They do not experience the Lord's sweetness and beauty. This is Prabhupada's use the opulence and beauty. So sweetness and beauty. For the embodied being, worship of you is the goal, since it's possible to realize your beautiful form in that body. Is there not some object with similar sweetness in this veritable world? Since you are saying that without realizing the Lord, life is a waste of time. So this is a question, maybe say Garbhodaksha Vishnu asking. Is nothing more than me in this world? Brahma says, there's nothing other than you. There is worthy object of knowledge. It means Geya. You are Geya. You are only knowable object. There's nothing other than Bhagavan at all. There's no object to be realized by the eyes or ears except the superior beauty and glories indicated by the Bhag in Bhagavan, the possessor of Bhag. No, Srila Prabhupada said beauty and opulence, but the opulence is now it is clear. The opulence are the 6 opulences, Bhagavan. You know? So if you have time, if you read the Chakravarti purport simultaneously with Prabhupada's purport will be more crystal clear. In these words you see, opulence Prabhupada has written. What is the meaning of opulence? 6 opulence of Supreme Lord. That's Bhag. But does not the happiness of Swarga gives pleasure to the senses? Again, make this question because so many people, because all over the world the people are interested in heaven. Christian, Muslims, even Hindus, they are interested in heaven. So it means it's not heaven is that happiness is not pure. Shuddham, it's not Shuddham, pure. It's not Shuddham. Being temporary is not eternal and is disagreeable because of change. It is limited and low, but it is also impure, endowed with a taste for association with lusty crows. Now Prabhupada has used the word crows. It means those who want to even go to the heaven. Hare Krishna, those who want to go to the heaven. It means karmis, they are like crows. You know this word from where Prabhupada has taken the word and you can see crows. Okay? Not to be seen in the flower of the Lord, followers of the Lord who are like swan, matched to the worldly enjoyment. Because this is the effect of the Maya Shakti, it is not different from you. Because of transformation of guna of Maya, it appears great, Uru, ruling over Swarg and other places. So Maya's rule is over Swarg. It's not on you. You are Shuddham. This one purport we are escaping. Now we are going to the verse 2. Is it okay? Just we can go now quick. But you know what you have to do when you read the Srila Prabhupada's purport. Just apply your previous knowledge and see the words and just do little exercise in your mind. Rupam yattad avabodha rasodhyena. This form is rasodhyena. Oh. Avabodha rasa udyan. Avabodha rasa, internal energy, Prabhupada writes internal energy. So, Shashvam nivarta tamassaha sada anugrahaya adau grahitam avatara shaktaika bijam yananabhipadam bhavanad aham avirasam. Now I want to request you take 2 minutes. See the verse, see the word to word meaning, and see how many words you know in your own language. That is the beauty of taking birth in Bharatvarsh. You see on your own. You see the verse and see the word to word meaning and see how many words you know in your language. How many words you know in your language? Almost 80%. Is it right? Huh?
Yes.
Now we'll read the translation and you have to put the word of the Sanskrit where Prabhupada has put in translation. We will do this exercise in this translation, okay? Like Rupam, you know? Sashvat. If it's Sashwan is Sashvat, means okay. Nivarta tamasa, free from ignorance. Sadanugraha, again mercy. Adau, grahitam, first, receiving. Avatar, sataika. Sataika means hundreds of incarnation, yeah? Avatar is incarnation. Bijam, seed. Yada nabhi, this nabhi you know. Padam you know. Bhavanad, bhavanad means me. Aham, avirsham. Most of the words you know, right? Now we are reading the translation. See which word is here. The form which I see is eternally free from material contamination and has advented to show mercy to the devotees as manifestation of internal potency. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination. Second line. Can you see the second line? Shashvat, Nivarta, Tamaha. This is the first. This is clear now. And has advantage to show anugrahat, sadanugrahat. Devotees by internal potency, which is the, where is it? Rasa. Okay. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations. Sataika Bijam, Avatar Sataika Bijam. And I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Okay? This is the last line, yes? Tam Padam. So this is little exercise if you do. It takes how many minutes it took? 1-2 minutes. Now you know this verse. Otherwise you just mechanical reading the verse. Now you know the meaning of this verse on your own. Is it clear? It took 2 minutes now. And your vocabulary will increase to know Sanskrit more. Because 1-2 words you don't know, you can pick up couple of times, then it will be more useful for you. So by looking at verse, mostly you can figure out what is the message in this verse. Because we are preachers. If we go somewhere, somebody shows us verse what this means, and we should be really ready to answer. Not we should go back to the book and look. No. Vidya is that which is in kant. Knowledge is that which is in your throat. Book knowledge is not knowledge. Yeah, it's called Vidya Kant. And money is that which is in your pocket. And wherever it is of no use. This is saying, Vidya Kante and Lakshmi Gante. Gante means in a knot with you. That will be useful.
But nowadays it's in bank.
Yeah, it's a bank, so it's like you don't know where it is. Now this Rasa Chakravarti Pada said Chitta Shakti. See, Chitta Shakti. By your mercy to the devotee, Sad Anugrahat. Sad means devotee actually. Satam Prasangam. So Sad means devotee. Anugrahat means, Sad means devotee. Anugrahat. So by your mercy to the devotees, by your Chitta Shakti, internal potency, Chitta Shakti, you have shown the beginning, this form which is eternally devoid of Maya, which is the seed of countless avatar, and from whose navel appeared the lotus from which I have appeared. So you can now put the things in order, right? So the summary of this verse is the original form. Original form. Now Srila Prabhupada's three deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, executive heads of three modes of material nature, are all generated from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. This is for information. You must have this information of knowledge. There's all three are generated from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And this verse said Sataik Avatar means all the incarnation are coming from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. When you see Prabhupada's purport in different places, usually it has two. Either the incarnation are coming from Kshirodakshai Vishnu or Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So Prabhupada then reconcile, because Kshirodakshai Vishnu is expansion of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So both are correct. Both are correct. But here Brahma says Sataika means hundreds of incarnation are coming from you. And then these are the three incarnations, good avatar, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. They are coming from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So we know the all incarnation. So on this point, for preaching purpose, usually when you go on preaching, people ask you, Vishnu incarnate in this world. So Krishna is a incarnation of Vishnu. This is common people. They will ask you this question. And you agree with them, yes. All incarnation are coming from Vishnu, you are right. You agree with them. And then you ask, which Vishnu? You ask them, which Vishnu? Then they will be confused. So, which Vishnu? Which Vishnu? Vishnu? Then you say there are three Vishnu, Purusha incarnation, Karunadakshai, Garbhodakshai and Kshirodakshai. Then he will think, I don't know. So do you know the all incarnation are coming from Kshirodakshai Vishnu? Brahma went to pray at the milk ocean, you know this? Yes. Do you know from these three Vishnus coming? I don't know. They are coming from Sankarshan. Who is Sankarshan? It's coming from Balaram. From where Balaram is coming? Coming from Krishna. Then they will think at least you know something and they are just, they have heard something. So you have to accept them first and then you, what is called, then you confuse them and then you, then you educate them. Agree with, confuse and then educate. Right? Because these are the common questions people ask. Okay. From the Kshirodakshai, now Prabhupada is writing here right now. From Kshirodakshai Vishnu, many Vishnu incarnations expand at different ages in the duration of the cosmic manifestation. Now, see, it's in same purport you have the two Garbhodakshai incarnation and Kshirodakshai. How is it now we can reconcile? Garbhodakshai Vishnu give rise to Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It means this Vishnu is Kshirodakshai. And this Kirodakshaya Vishnu further give rise to many incarnation. Yuga yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. That is the verse yuge yuge, that's what it means. So all incarnation are coming from Vishnu. And they will go on further actually to argue with with Devaki and Vasudev. Krishna appeared in 4-armed form, so he is Vishnu. They will say this. So how will then you can again confuse them. So the one who has 100 arm is bigger than the 4-arm and 2-arm is smaller. What do you think? It's not by the arms somebody is big or small. There is 100 arms. This is Virat Roop has 100 arms. So yes, Virat Roop is, so many people accept Virat Roop as the best. Materialistic people accept the Virat Roop. And the Ramanuja Sampradaya, they say 4-arm Vishnu is our worshipable Lord. Ramanuja Sampradaya 4 Vishnu, they say Vishnu is there. So still within the Vaishnava Sampradaya there is quite, this Rupa Goswami says all other Sampradayas may be agreeing on something, but Radha Kund is only worshipped by Gauriya Vaishnava. No other Sampradaya has any clue of the Radha Kund. This is the little difference. Okay, we should go further. Avbodh Rasa means that which completely nullifies. In the transcendent, there is no chance of material contact by any means. Brahma is first living being. Therefore, he mentioned his birth from the lotus flower generated from the abdomen of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. All right, let's go quickly now. Now, one word Gritam in this verse is a little, debatable. Gritam means, Chakravarti says, because the form is eternal, the word Gritam cannot mean the Lord accepted this form at some time. It simply means that the form appeared. Grita here means appeared. This is the opinion of Sridhar Swami. And Sandrab says the Gritam means the form is brought before the devotee's vision. It is like you bring somebody in front of us. It's like, form is brought in front of the devotees. Like the deity form appeared in front of the devotees. This is Grita. So the word Grita doesn't have, somebody can say Grita means, he accepted that form. No. He appeared in that form. Okay, next verse. Nata param paramam, nata paramam param yad bhavatta swarupam. You can know the all meaning of these words. Nothing is beyond the greatest, this greatest form. Ananda matram, this is all blissful, Ananda matram. Avikalpam avidha varcha. These words you have to see one to word and then understand. Avikalpam. Avikalpam, without change. Vikalpa, avikalpa. Without changeless. Avidha varcha, without deterioration of the potency. Varchasva, Varchasva? In a Hindi word, Varchasva. इसका वर्चस्व कितना अच्छा है, it is influence. Varcha means influence generally. Okay. Bhutindriya atmakaha madasta upashrito. Translation. O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. First line. In your impersonal Brahm effulgence, in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because, whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, Your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation and you are untouched by the matter. Somebody can read Chakravarti Par's translation?
O Supreme Lord, I do not see that you are different from your form as the Brahman, which is without qualities and only bliss. O form of unrestricted light, I, full of pride in thinking I can get pleasure by body, sense and mind, take shelter of your one form, which is spiritual, but which creates this universe.
So in this there's no difference between you and Brahm, because Brahm is depending on you. So these two words used are for the Brahm. What are these two words used for the Brahm?
Without qualities?
Yes, this is effulgence is spiritual. There is no occasional change. It means avikalpena, and also deterioration of internal potency. Varchaha, what is that word? Supreme personal form. This is what the summary of the verse is. This is supreme personal form. As stated in Bhagwat Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijananti, Prabhupada is speaking about how can one know the Supreme Lord? Only by bhakti, right? And Brahma Santa says same thing. Lord has many forms. Advaya, Advayam Vachuttam Manadim Mananta Rupam. Yeah. So this is the Brahma Santa verses. You know all this? Also, Prabhupada writes about Brahma Jyoti and the purple. Can you see? In the spiritual sky of Brahma Jyoti, there is no change of vikalpena. Of various kalpas or millennium. It means that there's no time as influence there. Time has no influence. Prabhupada write this. Time has no influence there. And there is no creative activities in the Vaikuntha alone. Okay? The influence time is conscious by its absence. So these two and this changeless is from without, it means it is not influenced by time. How the change is brought? By time. It is a time which deteriorate everything. But your form is not influenced by time. Chakravarti's purport you see here, few lines. But some say that original form is Brahma without quality, not the Lord with qualities. This is a question asked by the argument. Brahma is high. This is what the all Mayavadi says. Brahma is high. So some says Brahma is high, not your form. So Brahma says, O Supreme Lord Param, I do not see this form as different from your form of Brahma, which is without qualities of vikalpam, and only bliss, ananda matram. But this form includes Brahma. So you are not different from Brahma, but Brahma is included in you. Brahma's answer is that Brahma is included in you. The Brahma does not include this form, but in the Brahma you are not there. Brahma is in you, but you are not in the Brahma. This is what Brahma is saying. Brahma is included in you, but you are not included. Your form is not included in Brahma, though you are one. Lord whose effulgence is not restricted by time or space. So he is not affected by time and space. Your effulgence is all pervading. That effulgence is Brahma. In Hari Vansa, Lord tells Arjuna about Paramam Param Brahm Swam Vibhajet Jagat Mamaiva Jagattanam Tejoja. So this is Bharat. O Bharat, this supreme Brahma lights up the whole universe. You should know that it is my condensed light. So this Brahma, maybe for your reference you can have this verse from Harivansh Pran about Brahma is, Krishna says Brahma is my condensed light to Arjuna. though Brahma and personal form are one, where do you reside? With Brahma or with personal form? I take shelter of one form, Ekam, of you, Te, who create the universe, Vishwa Sarjam. But you, Brahma, create this universe. You are also different from the universe. You are spiritual, Avishwam, whereas I am material because I have pride, mother, that I can gain pleasure by body, senses and mind. He criticizes himself as material. Now, the whole point is, Brahma, though he is a creator, but he is a living entity with a material body. God creates, but he has no material body. He has no influence of time and space. Brahma is influenced by time and space. Therefore, Brahma is saying, no, I am not equal to you. That is what it means. You are Brahma, and the first is a difference between Brahma and and the form of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And then is comparing between the creation of Brahma and creation of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Now we are going to the next verse. Oh, there is something in Madhya Leela about this verse. Other thoughts, same as CC Madhya Leela 25, 36 purport. This is quotation from Srimad Bhagwatam 393. This verse was spoken by Lord Brahma, who perfectly realized the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After meditating upon the Lord within the wall of Garbhodaksha, the ocean, Brahma realized that the form of Lord is completely spiritual. This is certainly a better understanding of the absolute truth than impersonal understanding. So the second reference for the same verse. Verse number 4. Connection with the previous verse. Why surrender to the personal form only? Why not to the Brahma? Okay? There's a connection between the two verse 3 and 4. Yadava idam bhuvan mangala mangalaya dhyane samanoho darashitam tada upaskanam tasmai namo bhagavate anuvidhena tobhyam yonadritoho narake bhagibi asat prasangai. Those who don't worship this personal form will go to the hell. That's what the meaning of the verse is. Translation. Somebody should read the translation. One who is sleepy, he should read. Hare Krishna. Sleepy should read.
This present form, or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form, upon whom your devotees meditate, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics.
So, who will read the Chakravarti Pad's translation? Next sleepy friend. Yes, sleepy is one who came for Mangal Arati. Those who are not sleeping was not present in Mangal Arati. Yeah. Yes.
O Lord of auspiciousness for the whole world, this personal form is for the benefit of the whole world, and it was known to me, your worshipper, my meditation. Therefore, I offer respects to that personal form. Let me only serve you, who are not respected by those who will go to hell, proclaiming that your personal form is false.
This is Mayavadis. They said your form is made of Maya, they go to the hell. It means like that. So, what is the message in this verse? Personal form, you appear then when we know who is God. Otherwise, people will speculate about God. Therefore, I meditate, I accept personal form because devotee can meditate on your form. Now, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada is comparing basically regarding the personal and impersonal features. Yes, Prabhu.
VA translation.
Bhakti, this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Oh, VA. This is Vallabhacharya. The Subodhini Vallabhacharya. This English is a little not very good. But there are some good points also, but we don't have time really to think about those. It's more like, analytical study of the words. Yes, Subodhini. So, in this purpose, Srila Prabhupada is differentiating the personal and impersonal worship. And then he's quoting verse from Bhagwat Gita 12.5, which is the verse 12.5. Klesho, 12.5 is Klesho adhiktar tesham avyakta saktetsam avyaktai gatir dukam devadvayu avapyate. So this is what Prabhupada said. Worshipping the impersonal is difficult. Then Brahma Santa, about the different incarnations coming from one Krishna, because Prabhupada used the word Krishna. So Deepa shared this verse from one candle, the other candles, and all have same power, but there's the original one. So original is Krishna, and then the other. So forms are worshipable all, and the original form is Krishna. Impersonal is painful to meditate, okay? Yes? Yes, Prabhuji.
How do we understand, we have many candles, that one candle light the other candle, but they are also eternally present. So, then there's a time factor, one is lighting the other, but eternally present.
They all are, some of the incarnation are eternally existing in the Vaikuntha planet, and they come when they are required to come. This example given by Brahma is that originally there is a one Krishna, Adi Purusham, and from his right side, Balaram expanded, and this Balaram then expanded into first Chaturvyu, Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna, and Anuruddha, and this then Sankrishna then went to the Vaikuntha as a Maha Sankrishna and then become again second Chaturvyu, and from this second Chaturvyu, the Sankrishna goes for creation of three Purusha avatar, which give rise to the many incarnations, and then the Vasudeva, he is the Narayan and the Vaikuntha, something like that. So they all expanded from Krishna as a first candle, but now they are eternally there. But how this whole creation? And from left side of Krishna, Radharani expanded, and Radharani expanded into the many Lakshmis in the Vaikuntha. Simultaneously, you need Lakshmi in Vaikuntha with Narayan. Then her shadow expanded into Dwarka as the queens. Her reflection, not shadow, her reflection, Pratibimba. And then her Kaya view, her bodily manifestation become many gopis. And her shadow become Durga in the material world. And the all energies are coming from Radha, therefore we soul are also expansion of internal potency. Though internal potency is coming from Krishna, so we are part and parcel of Krishna. But through energy, we are part and parcel of energy. So this is the way things expand. Okay? Chakravarti Pad's purport says, you are auspicious for the whole world. The materialists do not respect the form that you show for giving auspiciousness to us. I offer regrets to you repeatedly. I offer respect to you repeatedly. Why do you not take shelter of impersonal Brahma? The form with quality is for giving a benefit of artha, dharma, kam, and moksha. It means the form gives these four things. Now see, this is very good information for you. The people of the 14 planetary system, worship of the personal form produce these benefits. Doing otherwise is useless. Worship of impersonal Brahm will not give these results. It means Brahm don't reciprocate with the devotee. Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, whatever. Paramatma is only witness. Upadrishta, Anumanta. He don't really reciprocate with you. Personal form only reciprocate with you. So to be right, that personal form was revealed to me in my meditation. I do not see the impersonal Brahm. I don't see the personal. Therefore, the personal form is much more merciful. I thus offer respect to you, the personal form, an ocean of spiritual qualities. Let me serve only you, Anuvidhema. Anuvidhema. Anu, following you, Vidhema, with my all intelligence. What service can I do for you? But some persons say that this form is not full of eternal knowledge and bliss, but material, Mayavadi, and do not respect it. It is not respected by those who will fall to hell, Narka Bhagina, and who indulge in thinking, prasangai, that form is asat, or by others who associate with materialist. So most important thing we know is that Brahma cannot bestow any benedictions because he cannot reciprocate. So why we worship Brahma? Brahma is included in form. Last verse of this section, I think, of the Lord's supreme form. Natu tvadhyaha charana bhujya kosha gandham jagrahanti karana vivarai shrutivata nitam bhaktyaha grahita charana paraya chitesham na eti nathardya anubhavata swakunsham. Now, O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of the Vedic sounds through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their heart. What it means is, those who hear the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagwatam, they are always connected with you. Because the ears receive the Vedic knowledge. The aroma, this is, O Master, you do not give up the lotus heart of your devotees who smell through their ears the fragrance of your lotus bud, O lotus bud feet, brought by the wind of the Vedas, and take your lotus feet as the greatest treasure through the prema bhakti. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport: for the pure devotees of the Lord, there is nothing beyond the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord knows that such devotees do not wish anything more than that. The word tu specifically established this fact. The Lord does not wish to be separated from the lotus heart of those pure devotees. That is the transcendental relationship between the pure devotee and personality of Godhead. Paraya is very significant in this. Paraya is called para bhakti, or spontaneous love of God. Is the basis of an intimate relationship with God. This is the highest stage of relationship with the Lord. Can be attained simply by hearing about Him, His name, form and quality from the authentic source like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagwatam. Yeah, I said is the only one line. When you read the verse, you can see those who hear the Gita and Bhagwatam, they are always connected with Lord. Lord always resides in their heart. Chakravarti Pad writes, the worshipper of the impersonal Brahman are described as Jnanis in the scripture. The worshipper of the person form are called devotees. Among the two types of people, the devotees are successful and dear to the Lord. This is explained in 2 verses. So it means in these periods to the form, first is impersonal and then the personal form, and the compare which is more important by Brahma. And personal form is more important. Why? Because there is a relationship. And then there's awakening of a prema bhakti for that. So that is what the whole this section is. This section, 2 verses. Shruti referred to the Vedas. The one meaning of Shruti is Vedas. What is the other meaning of Shruti? Our process of hearing and bhakti. Both are Shruti. So Shruti has 2 meanings. Vedas are hearing in bhakti. The devotees smell through the ears the fragrance of your Lord Spirit, brought by the wind of the Vedas, are the learning process or hearing process, and accept your Lord Spirit as the final goal of human endeavor with the highest devotion, prema bhakti, like the bees eager for the fragrance of the Lord's feet. Just as they do not give up their greed for the your Lord's feet, you also do not give up them, being greedy for their Lord's heart filled with sweet prem. They mutually bring each other under control. Krishna se tumhara Krishna dite paal. So the devotee's heart, always there is a Krishna. This is which verse is there? There's a good verse. Huh? Yeah. My hridayam, devotee is in my heart and I am in devotee's heart. Sadhunam hridayam. So this is the mood. Now the next section is verse 6 to 10. Predicament of conditioned soul. Predicament of conditioned soul means misfortune? No. What it means? Predicament means?
Terrible situations. Terrible situations.
Terrible, unfortunate conditioned soul. So, Tavad bhayam drvina deha swarhan nimitam shokasparaha paribhavo vipulascha lobha. So all these things are as long as you have not actually worshipped Lord. So this is the translation. Oh my Lord, the people of the world are embraced by all material anxieties. They are always afraid. They always try to protect wealth, body and friends. They are filled with lamentation and unlawful desires and paraphernalia. And they avariciously base their undertaking on the perishable occupation of Maya and mind. As long as they do not take shelter of your safe lotus feet, they are full of all anxieties. Right? Srila Prabhupada's purport. One may question how one can always think of Lord in regard of his name, form, quality, etc. If one is embraced by thoughts of family affairs. This Prabhupada is speaking like the congregation people who have family. Everyone in the material world is full of thoughts about how to maintain his family, how to protect his wealth, how to keep pace with the friends and relatives, etc. Thus he is always in fear and lamentation, trying to keep up with the status quo. In answer to this question, this verse is spoken by Brahma is very appropriate. And what is the answer? As long as they don't take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord, they will never be freed from all these anxieties. Now Prabhupada is saying how we should think as a congregation. A pure devotee of Lord never thinks himself as the proprietor of his home. He surrenders everything onto this supreme controller of Lord, and from here no fear for maintaining his family. What is this verse from, what is this bhajan of Bhakti Vinod Thakur? Deha geya manusa deha geya jo kuch meora arpilo toy nanda kisor. That's what the Prabhupada's, this line, when he's writing this, pure devotees offer everything to the Lord. So he's free from anxiety because he's surrendered. So when Prabhupada is writing this bhajan is somewhere in his mind. Deho geho manusa deho geho jo kuch moro arpilo toy nanda kishor. That's the mood. He has no attraction for wealth. Even if there is an attraction for wealth, it is not for sense enjoyment, but for the service of the Lord. A pure devotee may be attracted to accumulating wealth just like an ordinary man, but the difference is that the devotee acquires money for service of the Lord, whereas the ordinary man, so there's a comparison between the devotee and ordinary man. Chakravarti Pad writes, but the devotees, if they have wives, children and wealth, are also materialists? No, this is not true. Materialists suffer continued material existence, bhayam, caused by attachment to wealth, body and friends. This existence consists of lamentation, desire, defeat and great greed as long as they do not accept your lotus feet as having power. Or to speak in the opposite way, if they accept those feet completely, they are, then by attachment to you, they will give up attachment to wealth, etc. And if one is devotee and has attachment to the wealth, etc., one should still not worry. One should still not worry. Analogy. What is the analogy? The bite of the snake whose two front teeth have been extracted does not cause suffering. Thus, just accepting your feet as worthy of service destroy the very cause of material existence. Later it will be said, Tavad ragadhyah stenas Tavad karagraham graham Yavan mohangrihi nigado yavat karanate jana. My Lord, oh my dear Krishna, until people become your devotees, their material attachment and desires remain thieves. Their homes remain prisons, and their affectionate feelings for their family members remain foot shackles. Brahma is praying in the 10th canto. So, what is practical application of this verse for the congregation devotees? So, the purport of this verse is a practical application for Grihastha devotees. Is this materialist? No. But Chakravarti says no. The word tavat has been used for both verses, making the case strong. Thus, in this verse, three types of devotee have been described in this verse. Now you see the verse, you see your Sanskrit verse. In this verse, three types of devotees are traveled. Those who have great attachment to the Lord described in the previous verse. Previous verse means verse number 5. Now then, those at the stage of unearth nivritti described in the first part of the present verse. Those in the unearth nivritti, first part of the verse. And those have not accomplished unearth nivritti described in the last part of the present verse. So this verse has two types of devotee, those who are trying for unearth nivritti, stage of unearth nivritti, and those who are before the stage of unearth nivritti. And verse number 5 is pure devotees. See, the verse 6 has two stages. Tavad bhayam. So, all these things is unearth, it means, and is unearth nivritti stage. Tvam mameti, aham mameti, asad avagra. This is before this stage of unearth nivritti. Me and mine and all these things. Okay, next verse. We are going slow. Connection with the previous. Then why doesn't everyone take to devotion? Because by taking devotion, they will be free from all the anxieties. Why they are not taking to devotion? Answer. Daivena. Daivena means by the fate of misfortune. Because of their bad karma. Daivena. They want, they cannot. So, Kurvanti kama shukalesha lavaya dina. Beautiful verses, what can we do? We are not able to. I thought at least we should finish 30 verses. because I see 40 verses per day as a quota to finish in 5 days for 4 chapters. And today, first day, we are just having a little, understanding really how to analyze the things in your practical life. And then I somehow, this is my bad nature. I want to read the Sanskrit word without that speaking on the topic is not appropriate for me. I want to see exactly is the word in the Sanskrit is there or not. So, my Lord, persons who are bereft of all auspicious performance of chanting and hearing about your transcendental qualities are certainly unfortunate and are also bereft of good sense. They engage in the inauspicious activities, enjoying sense gratification for the very little while. When I read this, then I have to see where is little while. Lavaya, Lesha Lavaya. Lesha Lavaya. Dina, they are Dina, very poor. Labhav abhibhuta manaso akushalani sashva. Akushalani. Kushal and akushal. Karam hi koshalam. You know from where the word kushal has come? No? From kush grass. The Brahman, so there are only 15 days, fortnight. There's only fortnight in a year where you can really get the kush grass for puja. When you take kush grass for puja, you have to take the root. Without root, kush grass is not useful for puja. And the kush grass is sharp like razor from both sides. So you should take it with root without hurting your hand. That is called Kushal Brahman. It means we function in this world, we act in this world without leaving any root of the karma, and we are without getting injured by the karma in this life. Then it's called Kushal. It's called Kushal Brahman. He has no seed for the next birth, and when he is living, he has not cut his hands. So Akushlani means he is useless, he is living behind the root, and he has cut his hands. This is Akushlani. Kushal and Akushal. See, Prabhupada write Akushlani, inauspicious activities, dangerous. So, Chakravarti Pad writes, those miserable persons who have lost their intelligence because of offense to you, Devena, whose senses are turned away from the things associated with you, which cause destruction of all inauspiciousness, and whose minds are controlled by greed for particle of sensual happiness, continually commit sinful activities. Srila Prabhupada writes, the next question is why people are against such auspicious activities as chanting and hearing of the glories of the pastime Lord, which can bring total freedom from the cares and anxieties of material existence. The only answer to this question is that they are unfortunate because of supernatural control due to their offensive activities performed simply for the sake of sense gratification. Any other words coming in your mind when you say they are unfortunate? Praya, Alpa Ayuha, Manda Sumandagatiyo. That is the same line. Is okay? The Lord's pure devotees, however, take compassion upon such unfortunate persons, and in a missionary spirit try to pursue them into the line of devotional service. Only by the grace of pure devotees can such unfortunate men be elevated to the position of transcendental service. So this is a practical application. Or this is something personal. You take this, that because people are suffering. This is what Prabhupada's mood when he landed in America. He said, oh, they are all under the mood of passion and ignorance. They are suffering. how Krishna I can help them. This is Markani Bhagavad Dharma. So this is the mood. This purport has a mood. The people are unfortunate, so we have to make them fortunate by giving them devotional service. So Devan means evil effect arising from offenses to you. Akushlani means activities for enjoyment and forbidden actions. Next. Other thought. Resemble verses Srimad Bhagwatam 352. Karmis describe a verse to the Lord. 352 you can see the similar verse. Okay, next verse 8. They are suffering from hunger, thirst. This is what it says. Shutrattaha tridhatubhi imamoho ardhayamana. Okay. The great actor, Krishna, his Lord is said, great actor, my Lord. All these poor creatures are constantly perplexed by the hunger, thirst, severe cold, secretions of bile extracted by the coughing winter, blasting summer, rains and many other disturbing elements, and overwhelmed by the strong sex urges and infatigable anger. These are 2 lines in the last. Can you see these 2 words? Anger. Kama Agni Achyuta. Kama Agni Achyuta. This Achyuta is differently used here. Kama means lust, Agni means krodh, and Achyuta. Is this right? Kam Agni by strong sex urges. Achyuta Rusha, infatigable anger. The Achyuta is differently used here. Huh? Anger which is unfatigable. Achyuta anger. Kama Agnina Achyuta Rusha. So when somehow this is when I read this word, I have to go back and see where is in the Sanskrit this word. Because without understanding, reading has no meaning. You understand at least what you are reading. Where is this? Now, Srila Prabhupada writes, I take pity on them and I am very much aggrieved for them. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Pure devotee of the Lord like Brahma and person in his disciple succession are always unhappy to see the perplexities of the conditioned soul. So it means there is a compassion in the heart of a devotee for suffering humanity. So we should help them. And then Prabhupada said, well, they are unfortunate because of their, the word is devena, because of their offenses. But now they are misguided by the present leaders. This is their double misfortune. Therefore, Prabhupada said, this is like blind men leading the another blind man and fall into the ditch, because now the present leadership which is leading the human society is only increasing the sense gratification. Therefore it's the devotees of the Lord who voluntarily take the responsibility of raising the foolish materialistic sense enjoyers are the confidential to the Lord as Lord Brahma. So again, this is personal application. We should be really feel sorry for these people and do some missionary activities in the line of Brahma, right? So we should have that mood. Okay, next verse. Other thoughts, Srimad Bhagwatam 554, 10, 9, 31. So other verses, similar mood. The heart of compassionate devotee is in greater agony than the heart of those who are suffering. Srila Prabhupada and Markani Bhagavad Dharma, foolish people ignorant of the Lord. This is Prabhupada's mood when he landed in America. That American people say are more opulent, but Prabhupada said they are suffering because they are under the influence of passion and ignorance. So this is the mood in these verses. Oh, this is going down. Yeah. It is because of my knees pushing them. To see this suffering, you have a compassion for the table. It was falling, everybody is falling. You have to be quickly. Okay, verse number 9. Yavat prathaktam idam atman indriya artha. Yeah, prathaktam means as long as you think you are separate, then body and soul are separate. You are body, you are not soul. That's the mid. Maya balam bhagavato jan isha pashet. Tavat na sansarti asau pratisankraman meta. Vertha api dukkha niraham bhati kriyarth. So translation says, O my Lord, the material miseries are without factual existence for the soul. Yet as long as the conditioned soul see the body as meant for sense enjoyment, pratik, he cannot get out of the entanglement of material miseries, being influenced by your external energy. As long as people see the condition of the jiva's body, possessing the strength of Lord's Maya in the form of sense object, the jiva's material existence, though insubstantial, will not be destroyed. It produces great suffering and giving results for all actions. So the mood of this verse is, as long as one is in a bodily concept, his suffering will not end. Why he is in bodily concept? Because of the influence of Maya. And what is the influence of Maya? Sense gratification, attraction to the sense objects. So this is the other aspect of use your own language to explain the meaning. Not say same, use your own language to explain what is in the verse. Bodily concept of life. As long as you want to enjoy body, don't know about this soul, he will suffer. The suffering is because of the Maya, because it created this whole illusory world, distracting. What was the verse in the first purport word? Wonderful, distracting creation. That will cause us not to really come to our senses as a soul. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The whole trouble of the living entity is material existent. In the material existent is that he has an independent conception of life. Prabhupada is using the other independent conception of life. The word independent, why Prabhupada has used this? Prathak. Prathak means separate. He has a separate interest than God. The word prathak. He is always dependent on the rules of the Supreme Lord in both the conditioned and liberated state. If he is a conditioned soul, he is under the jurisdiction of material energy. If he is liberated, he is in jurisdiction of the internal potency. In both ways, he is dependent. He is not independent at all. But the influence of the external energy, the conditioned soul thinks himself independent of the supremacy of the personality of Godhead. This constitutional position is, his constitutional position is to vittle himself with the desire of the supreme will. But as long as he goes on to do so, he is sure to drag on in this cycle of material bondage. As stated in Bhagwat Gita, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatam. Whereas, which section is this verse? Istata Pragya. So Srila Prabhupada has taken Prathak as a separate are independent mentality. And as long as one is thinking I am independent of everything, Prabhupada used to say everybody is working under you are working under somebody, you are never independent. You have to serve somebody, Prabhupada used to say. If you have nothing, then you have to serve the cat and dog because this is your nature. So the whole thing is separate, Prabhupada's topic. Why do you lament for material existence since it is worthless? Maya? Jagat Mithya? This is what Mayavadi says. Why you are lamenting? Jagat is Mithya. This is a mood, Chakravarti Pad is saying. As long as Jiva experiences life in terms of his body, Pratiktvena. This means bodily concept. Which possesses strength of Lord's Maya as sense objects. Material existence, though useless and insufficient, will not be destroyed. Material existence gives the multitude of grief, dukkha nivaham, and gives result of all the actions. So the whole idea is all our activities should be devoted to the service of the Lord. Otherwise, always the last section of this part, verse number 10. Such non-devotees engage their senses in very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer insomnia at night, cannot sleep, but their intelligence constantly breaks their sleep with various mental speculation. They are frustrated in all their various plans by supernatural power. Even great sages, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world. Yushmat prasanga vimukta iya sangsharti. Sangsharti means repeated birth and death. Okay. Jnanis, having disturbed senses, engage them during the day and sleeping at night, have their sleep broken by various desires represented by dreams. They thus obtain object of enjoyment by karma. They continue to rebound in this material world since they are averse to your association. Now, Prabhupada has little lengthy purport for this, quite 2 pages purport. It's quite lengthy purport. Prabhupada's purport is quite lengthy. Okay, let's see what is the mood of Prabhupada. Frustration of non-devotees. The summary of the verse is frustration of non-devotees. What is that? Apritarth karna. Apritarth karna. As described in the previous verse, people have no taste for devotional service of the Lord. Karna means ears, it means not hearing. Apratartha, not interested in hearing. The Lord's occupied in material engagement. Most of them engage during the daytime in a hard physical labor. Their senses are engaged very extensively in troublesome duties in the gigantic plants of the heavy industry enterprises. The owner of such factories are engaged in finding a market for their industrial products, and the laborers are engaged in excessive production involving huge mechanical arrangement. Factory is another name for hell. Factory, another name for hell. At night, hellishly engaged persons take advantage of wine woman to satisfy their tired senses, but they are not even able to have sound sleep because their various mental speculative plans constantly interrupt their sleep. Because they suffer from insomnia, sometimes they feel sleepy in the morning for lack of insufficient rest. You know, a person who was sleeping near the well in a night and in thinking, well, then I will marry, I will get one cow, then cow will give milk, I will sell the milk, then I will have a house, then after house I will marry, and then when I will marry, my wife would say, now you should space, give me some space for me, and by that time he was slipped into the well. So in the night he was thinking like this. You know this story, right? This is what they cannot sleep because they have so many plans all day. So in night they think like that. A cloth merchant in the night was sleeping, and then he has his kurta. He said, "Take 3 meters." He torn his kurta. So this is a problem for them. Now, Daiva Patartha Archana. Deva Ahat Artha Archana. By the arrangement of supernatural power. Rachana. By the arrangement of supernatural power, even the great scientists and thinkers of the world suffer frustration of their various plans and thus rot in the material world birth after birth. Deva Artha Rachana. Deva, it means by the divine arrangement. Artha Rachana. Ahat Artha Rachana. What they are doing research to get the to create item bomb, get the prize for destruction. This service. This verse particularly mentioned that even sages who are averse to the principle of devotional service to the Lord are also condemned to undergo the terms of material existence. Not only in this age, but formerly also, there were many sages who tried to invent their own system of religious without reference to devotional service to the Lord. But there cannot be any religious principle without devotional service to the Lord. The Supreme Lord is the leader of the entire range of living entities, and no one can be equal or greater than him. Even the Lord's impersonal feature and all-pervading localized feature cannot be on an equal level with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, there cannot be any religion or system of genuine philosophy for the advancement of living entity without principle of devotional service. So Prabhupada is gilding that devotional service is the only method. Anything which is less than that will never satisfy anybody. And then he's saying why? Because the Jnanis only think of impersonal Brahma, yogis think of super soul. They will not be satisfied also, ultimately. Nana Manoratha Dhiya. So Prabhupada has taken words and is explaining those words. Nana Manoratha Dhiya. The impersonalists who take much trouble in penance and austerity for self-liberation may approach the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, but ultimately, because of not being situated in devotional service, they glide down again to the material world to undergo another term of material action. This is confirmed. Yanya Arvindaksha Vimukta Manena. This is the verse of this is spoken by the demigods. Demigods in a Garbhastuti. This is a Garbhastuti verse from the 10 to 32. This is the only verse Prabhupada quotes for Mayavadi that they fall down. Patanti Adha. Why? Because Jushna Angrihi. Anadrat Yushmad Angriha. Because they have offended the lowest feet of the Lord. Now Srila Prabhupada goes further. Therefore, no one can manufacture any system of religion without the principle of devotional service to the Lord. As we find in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagwatam, what is the verse? Prabhupada has written here. Dharmattu Bhagvat Pranitam. Dharmattu Bhagvat Pranitam is there. Dharmattu Sakshat Bhagvat Pranitam, right? And Bhagwat Gita says that any religion which is not surrendering to Lord is useless. Sarva Dharman Parityaja. The sixth canto we find the following statement of Yamaraj. Dharmat sakshat bhagavat pranitam vai vidur rishyah napihi devah na siddham mukhya asuraha manushya kuto no vidyadhara charnadya swayambhu narado shambhu. These are the 12 margin. The principle of religion are not open to any ordinary entity. It means they cannot manufacture or make any change. They are just to bring human being into the platform of morality, non-violence, etc. Usually religion teach these things. Non-violence, morality are necessary for misguided person, because unless one is moral and non-violence, one cannot understand principle of religion. To understand what is actual religion is very difficult, even if one is situated in principle of morality and non-violence. It is very confidential, because as soon as one is conversant with the real principle of religion, he is at once liberated to the eternal life of bliss and knowledge. Therefore, one who is not situated in principle of devotional service to the Lord should not pose himself as a religious leader of the innocent public. Ishopanit says, he forbid the nonsense in the following mantra. Andham tamaha parvashyanti iti asambhutam upasehtaho bhuya evate tamo hi sambhutayam rataha. These are the Ishopanit verses. So Chakravarti Pad says very simple thing. One should not say that material existence caused by ignorance will be destroyed by Gyan. By knowledge you cannot come out of the material world, because even Gyan is devoid of bhakti continue in the material world. Why Gyan cannot give liberation from the material world? What is your answer?
There is no meditation on the Supreme Lord.
Slow meditation on the Supreme Lord. Why Gyan is not sufficient for liberation?
The intention is to not to serve, but to
Oh, his time is there. This Prabhu is gone. Is our service time?
4 minutes.
Huh?
4 minutes. 4 minutes more.
Okay. What is the answer?
because the intention is not to serve, but to
Intention is not to serve, but to become God. The real answer is the Gyan is in mode of goodness. And because it is a mode of goodness, so it is a material. So how can you reach to the spiritual platform with mode of goodness? Therefore, in 11th canto, you have to give up Gyan. Jnana, you have to give up. Then you can advance further. Jnana Tyajeta, some word is there in 11th canto. So now we have next section. Brahman's prayers for creative impetus. This is the total. 11 to 13, Lord's reciprocation with various devotees. Lord's reciprocation with various devotees. Means Brahma, yogis, jnanis and bhakta. Lord's reciprocation with jnani, yogi and bhakta. So this section we will start tomorrow. And then the next will be Namaskaram. Then Brahmaji will offer his obeisances. From 14 onward, his obeisance to the Supreme Lord till the end. And then there are 2-3 verses by Maitreya, and then Lord speaks. Then the answer given by the Lord to the Brahma. And the last section is the Shruti Phal. One who hears or recites these prayers, what is the benefit? In this way, in 44 verses, this chapter will be over. And I am sorry we are able to complete only 10 verses. That's it. Hare Krishna. Now you have any question or comment? Yes, one hand is up there. Yes, take microphone.
Jnana cannot give liberation because it's on the mode of goodness platform. But you talk which because the impersonalists, in the impersonalists, they get liberated from the material existence, and they go to the Brahma Jyoti. So are we talking about that Jnana because that one attains liberation, right, from material existence?
They have to give up Gyan, and generally they said we have to give up Gyan. Gyan is to remove ignorance. Once ignorance removed, then you have to give up the Gyan. Then you can only advance. But the Gyan in devotion, that Gyan is not accepted in devotional service, which is leading us to merging in the Brahma. But that knowledge is accepted in Bhakti, which is speak about Pancharatra Gyan, Bhagwat Gita, knowledge, how to practice devotional service. That knowledge is accepted. That knowledge which lead to the merging in the Brahma is rejected. That is the Shuddha knowledge, pure knowledge. Or Sambandha Gyan. The devotee use Sambandha Gyan. And the Gyanis use the impersonal knowledge of the Brahma.
So that Jnana, which enables them to be liberated into the Brahma Jyoti. So is that Jnana also on the mode of goodness? Because if it is in the mode of goodness, they will not be liberated. They actually go out of material, go to the spiritual.
The Gyan is in the mode of goodness generally. And therefore they will go to the Brahma Jyoti, they come back, that's what this verse says. But they want really to stay there, then they have to give the knowledge after removing the ignorance. They call Avarana Bhang in their language, Avarana Bhang. Avarana Bhang means the curtain of Maya they remove by knowledge and then give up knowledge. This is a system. The knowledge they have to give up in all other practice you have to give up the practice. But in Bhakti is only one in which you continue doing same thing even in the spiritual world. You have not to give it up. All other process you have to give up that process at the you leave the stair when you reach to the top. Then you don't need a stair. But Bhakti you can continue in the spiritual world. There are say unripe mango and ripe mango. Prabhupada used to give example. In material world we are unripe mango. If we go to the spiritual world we become ripe mango and sweet, tasty. We'll do same thing there, chanting Hare Krishna and dancing. Everything will go on there. But Gyanis has to give up Gyan when he is liberated. Yeah, what was your question, Prabhu?
In a similar line. So, in Chaitanya Charitaamrita, some of what Acharyas say, Vairagi Uday Bhakti Yoga. So,
Yes.
so this Vidya and this knowledge, this Jnana, is it different or same?
No, there is different. Nij Vairag Vidya Bhakti Yoga. That Vairag is a Yukta Vairag. In devotion, the Vairag is Yukta Vairag and Gyan is Sambandh Gyan. And in the Gyan is of the Brahma and Vairag is of the material world. Complete. It's called Falgu Vairag. They give up everything, even though that which can be used in the service of the Lord, they give that up. Parpancha Buddhya. Hari Bhakti soul. Those things which can be used in service of Lord, they reject those. So the Vairag which we use is a Yukta Vairagya. The devotional Vairag is Yukta. And devotional knowledge is Sambandh Gyan. And they are byproduct of Bhakti. The Gyan and Vairag are son of Bhakti, which means they are result of Bhakti. Bhakti is not dependent on Gyan and Vairag. They are not Anga of Bhakti. They may be needed in the beginning, but Gyan and Vairag are not Anga of Bhakti.
So you talked about chanting 18 syllable Gopala mantra. Where exactly they
It's somewhere in the scriptures he was chanting this. It is in one of our Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures. It is in my memory, so I know he was chanting by Shuddha Saraswati, because all the demigods have their spiritual form in the spiritual world. They have their reflected form in the material world. So there is a Shuddha Saraswati which gave this mantra to the Brahma.
Because Brahma is the original, like he is the first person. So
He's the first person in the material world, but in the spiritual world, there are their counterparts there of the demigods. You see in a Vaikuntha, there is a Shiva, there is a Brahma there, there is a Narad there. You see one picture in a Vaikuntha, and Lord is reclining, and all the demigods are there. So they have their spiritual form there. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. I think tomorrow we should go a little faster. Are you reading beforehand? That is my problem, because I know in my experience of teaching, except those which are coming there for full time, we give them assignment, you read this, write this, and then come. Then we will not really talk most of the things, and we just stretch and go. But for congregation and something, we know they have no time to read before. So we just read with them here and really dig down the meanings. So if you can, it will take almost 2 hours, at least 1.5 hours, if you can read the whole chapter 9 tomorrow, then we can finish quickly. Any other comment except the questions? I was slow, that is I am saying I am too slow.
it's very nice to go through the purport and understanding the different connection of Prabhupada's different scriptures. Lot of love.
I mean, it's, to complete it or to understand it are two different things, right? If you get the technique, then you can complete on your own. If you learn this technique, then you can do your own, because you know the philosophy, basic philosophy. You just learn the technique how to read Prabhupada's purports. And I mean, at least you refer to the Chakravarti Pad's purport, because 80% Prabhupada has given Chakravarti Pad's purport, and then he has given his personal purport pertaining to the relevant in a present world, which he has given only. Chakravarti Pad has given according to the Sanskrit and its different meanings. Prabhupada is taking that from there, and then he has added the prevalent things which is in the present atmosphere, which Prabhupada has added. And then there is another Sandarbha also. There is a Jiva Goswami's Karma Sandarbha is there, which Bhagwatam, all verses are there. They are in this purport somewhere. But to understand Srila Prabhupada's purport, Chakravarti Pad's purport is essential. But we have to go by Prabhupada's purport. Even if it differs, then we focus on Prabhupada's purport. But you have question bank? What's called? So you give me question bank, and then when we read, then I can point that this is the answer of your question. Where is the answer? I can find. You give me that question bank. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.